Hi guys, iOS here. So on what's it called again? The backgrounds video, a person requested me to react it to top 10 deadliest SCPs that can destroy everything by Chuck. So I'm gonna go back to this.
If you've been on the internet for a decent amount of time, you've likely heard of the
Yeah, I heard of the SCP stuff. Also watch a bunch of Minecraft roleplays off of it on the Invisible David Studios. That's a Minecraft roleplay channel I watch sometimes.
SCP Foundation,
Mm-hmm.
which has amassed millions of fans, thousands of entries, and a menagerie
Yep.
of strange, creepy, dangerous, and
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of these creepy stuff.
everything one holds dear.
I don't know Avi's SCP, but
It's basically an online fictional database,
yeah,
not fictional, but who knows?
it's about a big science building that discover
Secure and
entities and stuff.
contain hazardous objects or beings, such as a nearly unkillable SCP-682
Yep, I know that one.
anything that tries to end its existence.
Also in this video, I'll say which ones that I know.
The creepy and disproportionate SCP-096.
Yep, I know this one.
With a tendency to lash out at anyone who dares to look at its face. And of course, SCP-2017,
Ooh,
a demonic
don't know about that thing.
breaking out of his perpetual prison to bring the apocalypse upon the earth.
Ooh.
There are thousands of entries and a lot of lore, and although not all of them are harmful or malicious, there's a common trope that a solid number of them could break out and wreak havoc upon mankind, the galaxy, and the universe. But there are some SCPs.
Good thing SCPs don't actually exist.
The uncountably infinite multiverse and its innumerable dimensions and narratives are at risk of deletion. I have already covered some of the strongest and deadliest SCPs within the first 3,000 entries, and this video will cover the ones within Series 4, 3,000 to 3,999.
What?
These are the ones that I believe stand out among the rest in one way
Okay.
or another. There are numerous object classes and different levels of risk associated
Yep.
with them.
Yep, I know that.
SCPs, as their name suggests, can be for the most part kept under a lock and key and are well under.
Yeah, one that's this it's, I don't know what it's exactly called. It's this orange thing. I can't remember the name. I know the SCP's names are numbers and stuff. And it's some kind of blob thing, and I think that will be categories in the safe area thing.
However, this doesn't automatically mean that they cannot pose a threat if they were to break out.
Yeah.
Next are the Euclids, which have bizarre behavior and are more difficult to contain. Some humanoids, such as the aforementioned SCP,
I don't know that one.
that can endure brutal damage, and the speed blitzing, neck-snapping statue.
Oh, that one. Yep, I definitely know that one. There's a bunch of games with that one in it. Keto? Ooh.
And at times can prove to be more dangerous. However, just because an SCP has a higher object
Ooh, what's that thing?
necessarily mean that they are more dangerous than one with a lower class.
Are you recording?
SCP-2207, which I
okay, Sam. Okay.
is a safe class object.
A knife?
Has been locked away, but when it was used to cut the fabric of space and time, it
what?
To destabilize the entire multiverse.
What?
With that out of the way, let's go over some of the deadliest, overpowered, and interesting SCPs.
Yeah, I was wondering when that was going to happen, when we could get to that part.
As we know it.
Actually, this video is actually kind of long. Ooh.
That is outright creepy as hell.
This might be my longest video. I'm not sure.
A bizarre abomination
Ugh.
from the cells of chickens, humans, and many other species
Okay.
in order to create the ultimate life form that was found in an abandoned forested area. These Keter-class entities are approximately...
This is kind of that looks like a dinosaur,
and to consume their prey,
but mutated and stuff.
acid, and as such are highly resistant to it as well.
SCP-3199.
From looking really sketch. You see, SCP-3199 was a monstrosity meant to remedy the world's hunger problems by creating a species that can reproduce and survive with far less sustenance than humans. Because of there being no observed how many eggs one specimen can hatch, it's been theorized that they can lay as many eggs as long as there is a large enough space. Although they can be killed with enough power and are not much more
that detail.
Human, their complete eradication is nearly impossible.
Looks like it has the face of a chicken or something.
and even scorching heat had proved fruitless in destroying them.
So they're
Right
basically
now,
indestructible.
incinerate the eggs to smithereens would be the way to go, but unfortunately, the eggs actually feed off of sources of heat, meaning that plasma weaponry or explosives would be ineffective and only help them to hatch. To destroy an egg and shatter its highly packed shell
Ew,
completely, you need to deep freeze it, crush it,
does it
and
lay
remove
them with the
some critical
mouth?
remains,
Ew.
meaning that it is a lot of work and
That thing
energy
is kind of like a
without
chicken
even
kind of thing.
one
The body
insect.
looks like
Now imagine
cooked chicken.
thousands or millions of them. Luckily, the Foundation has kept their existing specimens under a lock and key, and in order to hinder their
Good.
ability to lay eggs, they simply have to be submerged in water.
Oh.
Why? Well, because they perceive the water to occupy a space, and they essentially view it as a section where they can
Okay.
lay their eggs and move around. The reason I thought SCP-3199 deserved a spot here is not only because of its creepy appearance, but
Yeah, it
because
is
of the
kind of
threat
creepy.
it presents on a global
Actually,
scale
more
if it were to
disgusting.
break out. They may not be as deadly as the flood from Halo, but
Ooh.
just one egg can quickly become thousands of Manchicans and overrun
Ooh. Oh, it is. Oh, that's why I kind of looks like chicken because it's like a
in the
man
deep
chicken thing.
ocean depths of the Bay of Bengal exist a next
Yeah, I
generation
recognize SCP animated. I've seen some of the stuff.
one of my favorites, that is estimated
Looks
to
like
be
a big
600
eel.
to over 900 kilometers long. And to this
Ugh.
day, it is still unknown as to how big it truly is. Yeah, a ginormous eel may not look that threatening at first, but that is until you realize what this creature represents and what its capabilities
I'm
are.
sure it's terrifying.
SCP-3000's territory is hundreds of kilometers long, and its activities are supervised by the SCPF Eremita, which has
What?
to routinely collect a compound
Never heard
that
that
Foundation
name before.
desperately needs to create amnestics, specialized compounds used by the Foundation to apply to individuals and populations to make them forget of anomalous events and other strange criteria. If you have seen Men in Black, you could think of amnestics
No,
as
not really. I've seen like
water
commercials of it and
used to
stuff,
strip a
but I haven't
person of
watched
their
it.
memories.
Maybe someday I will.
Unfortunately, the people who routinely work in this field are subject to losing their memories and actively
What?
become confused as to who they are and make them constantly doubt if
Amnesia?
their memories are truly theirs or if their
I think
memories
that's what's
became
called.
wrapped up in someone else's head. Despite its massive size, it is believed that it doesn't need to feed on fish or whales or whatever you may
So
expect
what does it eat
to
on?
feed on. In fact, the only thing it feeds on is consciousness, memories,
What?
behaviors, and whatever higher mental functions a being needs to function. Because of this
Okay.
diet, and in order to keep it contained or kept within a specific region in the
How does
ocean,
it eat
the
it then?
Foundation has decided to routinely feed it D-class personnel, usually criminals that committed atrocities. After consuming its prey, the ginormous eel secretes a viscous gray substance known as Y909.
I mean, kind of like ink, like on a squid or something?
Consciousness in physical form. SCP-3000 essentially feeds on what makes sapient creatures.
If I saw that, I'll be terrified, just having that face so close to me, my face.
Because of this highly important compound that the sea beast is termed as a Thaumial class SCP, a helpful force of nature in a way. Its behavior is normally sedentary, as SCP-3000 has no reason to venture out into other oceans to feed on unsuspecting sea voyagers. But hell, even if it was to move around and about, there's likely nothing that we could do about it due to its nature and higher dimensional existence. If you have read the Marvel comics, you may know
Nah, I haven't.
abstract entities such as Eternity, who represents
I don't own any those Marvel stuff.
and Oblivion, who represents the absence of time and space entirely. In the SCP verse, on the other hand, there exists Mikani or McCain.
Is that something getting stabbed through and
technology, while Yaldabaoth, his rival, represents life and instinct. There are many other gods in the SCP verse, such as SCP-343, who is implied to be the almighty god that created the whole cosmos. There's also
You mean Jesus?
what?
Is that what the cosmos is? Like the space or something?
However, SCP-3000's true form represents oblivion, an empty void in space, the absence of consciousness, and what remains after everything ends. In a way, you can think of it as the oblivion of the SCP universe. In essence, SCP-3000 is not simply an eel kaiju.
Look at those teeth.
It represents a vital part of the
It has more teeth than Foxy does in FNAF 4.
its name, Anantashisha, is very
Oh, that's a...
related,
Oh, those are just like A's and N's. I thought they were all A's.
in Hindu culture that is tied to the absence of existence itself and is coined as the endless one. So, long after the universe or the SCP multiverse falls, one of the beings that one may expect to see survive is very clearly SCP-3000, or at least its true
I might actually make a part 2 of this reaction, maybe.
Series 2 video, I went over
Depends on how much
SCPs,
storage my phone has or something.
star signals that when its instructions are
I
followed,
think I'm good.
inducts a person into a religion called Fifthism, which
What?
basically deals with reality warping and a strong fascination or fetish for the number 5.
Fetish?
There are multiple
Like fetish art?
religion, and they are all connected to the god of Fifthism, a starfish god implied to be
Is that the new naughty thing?
and one of these
The triangle?
manifestations is detailed in the Kaiju C storyline. Upon trying to find the truth behind Fifthism, a team of explorers uncovered a very important shrine that mere mortals
Shrine?
have never come across. And because of that, their reality was punished
Ooh, look at all this like
in the form of an
energy and stuff.
crocodilian,
Not lightning
squid-like kaiju
thing.
called by many names.
Eddie Board.
Wind Kraken, Quackimisukas,
Oh, it was
and
by
of
saying
course, our
like the
favorite
art
one,
is
Tokage
by
and
some wasn't.
which are implied to be the angels or enforcers of Fifthism.
It's like a big reptile dragon thing.
It is theorized
Actually, that kind of looks like Godzilla.
within the same branch of the multiverse, and as
That thing looks like it's made of metal.
square cube law, which allows them to grow to well over several hundreds of meters long and cause tsunamis and earthquakes just by moving around.
Whoa.
In 1988, prior to the expedition that led to the Kaiju
What?
invasion, a croco squid suddenly emerged and attacked a mystical island of Irish fairies.
Is this like a movie or something?
Due to its high magical energy levels, that they have a strong attraction.
Is this part of a movie like they're showing now?
Multiple factions within this reality try to
Is that a robot?
take it down, but it proved to be very difficult due to its capabilities and resistance to earthly technologies. Their scales are almost as hard as diamonds. They can
Whoa.
feed on the life energies within their surroundings and within beings. They can
Ugh.
cast spells, and they can
What?
literally spew out hellfire in the ocean depths. Although they do
Oh.
require a good amount of energy to do so.
Makes sense, I guess.
Within the SCP verse, there is this unit of energy called fumes, which
Fumes?
represents the amount of reality within an object, location, or a being, and how it will react to its environment. And because of the
Okay.
crocodile kaiju's relatively low internal fume levels, it lessened the effects of our reality's laws or weaponry on its body.
Ooh, those
Which, as you
teeth.
can imagine, made it a bitch to take down. In order to defeat one, it required a multitude of methods, and like
Like, what are these like animated scenes from?
permanently damage the creature.
Like these little animations that like showing. Now I'm thinking how much it probably costs to animate this. Probably like a ton. Anti-magical?
That would nullify its otherworldly defenses and temporarily alter its physics so that it would be unable to move properly. And despite
Ooh, is that thing taking like a big battleship kind of thing? And there's like a
solution, which was
oh.
to nuke it to oblivion, which did
Oh.
manage to put an end to the creature.
Did?
Unfortunately, this was only the precursor.
Oh yeah, it is a part of a movie that they're talking about, I guess.
It's pretty similar to what happens in Pacific Rim, except it's a lot more sketch, and the kaiju are on steroids, like times 1,000.
Like, who put the robot thing? What's the robot thing? What?
Oh my god. Within one time,
What did you just say? I didn't catch that.
an alternate version of Earth that is heavily flooded, and nearly all sentient life and likely other SCPs were wiped out by the massive monster invasion
Ooh.
that came in the thousands. Even with all of the nasty-ass weaponry and protocols that the SCP Foundation and other factions had, it didn't matter, as the Earth was left unrecognizable and became a home for these mythical creatures. These kaiju may not be as powerful as Godzilla, but they are still really hard to put down, and they are not to be underestimated. There's a lot more lore involved with the Kaiju C, but if you'd like me to cover it more in depth or see if Godzilla can survive...
I don't know if this guy does more than just like SCP stuff, because I'm not really interested in that kind of stuff. I'm more interested in like FNAF stuff. Oh, this, what's the show called again? Something about some kind of guy. I see memes about him.
Our next contender is SCP-3485.
Is that a big lump? Is that a giant?
Which is simply put, an alien lobster, which is
Whoa.
gargantuan. The word gargantuan doesn't do it any
If that thing's that big, then how would the SCP Foundation like contain that?
I mean, it is approximately 1.6 million kilometers long.
What?
It is even longer than the diameter of our sun.
Whoa. Like the sun's really big.
Thankfully, but the reason it can pose a threat to the Earth is not only because of its immense size, but because of its abnormal food source. It does not have blood or...
Well, if it's big, I'm sure it needs to eat a lot.
Gaseous solution, which alongside its heat-resistant anatomy, allows it to consume the leftover helium and hydrogen from its stars fission reactions.
So it can eat.
In fact,
What?
the shell is so durable that it has withstood collisions with planets, coronal ejections,
Whoa.
and a star's immense heat numerous
There's a
times.
lot of like.
To make it worse, it can actively instantly teleport itself to whichever star it sees in its periphery.
It could
Unfortunately,
teleport.
though,
What was it, like an
because
Enderman or something?
it takes a long period of time for it to decide what to do and for its nervous system's impulses to course through its body. Although it is not actively hunting our star in particular, due to the fact that it frequently collides with planets means that one wrong move and it could crash into the Earth and end our existence. And I mean, what are we gonna do? Nuke it? Yeah, good luck, bro. It's literally almost
Yeah,
as
like
big
it,
as the sun.
like it really been through like a lot of stuff can like hit it and nothing can happen to it. So I don't think that a nuke's going to do anything.
Quadrillion or whatever, right? We're not taking down this thing. I think we're, bro.
Yep. If that thing existed and it came to us, we're all gone.
In terms of accomplishments in the SCP verse, but that is nothing.
Is that the moon exploding?
Coming up next. You may not expect this next SCP to be dangerous, but you are in for a rude awakening in the form of SCP-3096.
A magnet?
A class magnet that threatens the stability and existence of our
What? A living magnet?
It is quite confusing, but here is the main gist.
Yeah, I am confused.
Its crazy properties, SCP-3096 has a continuously changing position in the time stream, and its containment deals with it always being exposed to temporal fields in order to stabilize its position and keep it from making contact with its counterpart in the future. But why, though?
So I'm not talking much. I'm trying to like listen to the guy.
The past magnet had to be altered in a way that its position through time was accelerated, while the other magnet had its position slowed down. Because if the two magnets were to meet up in the same position at the same
I guess it will count as like Troy because it's a big giant magnet. It can like attract metal. Like if it nears off or something, it might attract off to it or something, or all the stuff's going. I don't know.
would move back into the past over and over and over and over
What?
again. No
Time
matter
travel?
or energy would be able to move forward, essentially putting our universe into a perpetual time loop, like some Doctor Strange on Dormammu type shit. It is very dangerous, but luckily, as long as we keep them apart from each other, we should be Gucci.
How do we do that?
Now, let's head over to a far quadrant in the cosmos known as SCP-3200.
4200?
As the Bode's void in real life.
So it's like a void?
Space over 300 million light years in diameter that holds a very dark secret. Due to its strange properties, trans-universal communication,
what is that thing?
Communication with other realities, is possible by approaching this region, which is theorized to be possible as a result of the fabric of space-time being abnormally thin. You might think that's a good thing, but not really, because unfortunately, due to its Hume levels being much higher than the rest of the baseline universe, its effects on local reality are quite detrimental on a cosmic.
I don't know. For some reason, this image right there reminds me of the Death Star from Star Wars. What? How did the SCP Federation come up with this stuff? Well, actually, the things that.
Other realities that also had to deal with SCP-3200, it seems that this pocket of unstable space-time was present in virtually every universe. Even after studying it for decades, the crew still had no clue as to how to hinder the progress of the anomaly that was expanding. But then the revelation came to one of the crew members before logging off permanently. We were fools. The void isn't a region where space-time is ruined. It is the source of the tear itself. Space-time itself is rending itself apart.
Real fools, the void region will. Space time is ruined. It's the source of fields. I don't think I'm gonna read this whole thing because there's a lot. Or are they like saying in the video? I'm not sure. Yes, okay, they're all saying it.
Devouring itself again and again, only to be reborn. I saw all of it. All of the times we tried to stop it in the past. All the times that I tried to stop it in the past. And the future. This happens again and again.
This is like a recording of
Over and over again, we try and try to.
Of like a report of some person or something.
Until we reach singularity and all is lost. The tear opens more holes everywhere in reality, and the anomalies appear faster and faster. But containment is only delaying the inevitable. The inevitable cleansing of the slate. I saw all the timelines, and we haven't stopped it in any of them.
What?
We have seen into the abyss, and by God, it hates us.
Why?
In other words, SCP-3200 was itself a terrace spacetime that would merge all timelines together, create a singularity like a black hole.
These SCPs are very interesting.
It is unclear if it would affect
Boundaries I have never heard of before.
but it is fair to say that it could at least destroy the multiverse on some fundamental level. How one would even contain, much less prevent such wide-scale destruction is unfathomable, and this anomaly is one that is very likely unstoppable. Really, the only thing we have going for us is that although it expands rather quickly, it would still take quite some time for it to reach the Earth and consume everything in the cosmos. In this scenario, time is our only ally, and I doubt that will be enough.
So I guess if the sun might explode before that thing reaches us.
This anomaly is known as SCP-3493, which drains people's memories and their knowledge about it, making it very difficult to catalog. SCP-3493
so it's like memory loss.
that erases information about itself in the local universe.
So like when.
In order for its information to be stored, the SCP Foundation had to communicate with other universes and catalog the information about the version of the SCP within these other realities.
So they contact like many different universes and talk to those people or something? What?
The other anomalies' information within their own, i.e., they traded information about each other's anomalies to suppress the memory wiping effects of the anomaly, which was its only weakness, if you could even call it that. However, SCP-3493 was unlike typical memetics because it was in the form of a higher dimensional black hole that punched in from a higher dimension into our reality and other ones as well. It is theorized that the black holes themselves are anchors of influence for a being called the Maw.
The
only
Maw?
way to stop its effects from spreading is to seemingly destroy these black holes.
How?
Which seems pretty impossible.
How?
The
Like.
fact that one of them is hypermassive and has the estimated.
Yeah, how could you destroy one of those?
310 quintillion solar masses. And this mass not only consumed entire galaxies, but eventually ate universes, creating a pitch black, once habitable cosmos. The anomaly is so dangerous that it was outright given and unable to avoid object class, and one solution, if you could even call it that, was to literally evacuate everyone to another reality altogether.
How could you do that?
SCP-3200, it seems that these patches of unstable space-time can affect and destroy universes. However, this is still small fry compared to the strongest beings on this list.
So it's not really that big of a deal?
That there was a malicious entity that tortured you for millennia upon millennia and could break and piece back reality like it was a plaything. This is what SCP-3999 entails.
That's a lot of nines.
Type entity with a very convoluted trail of events, which made it a bitch to read. I don't know why it was read like that. But the basic gist is that an SCP researcher named James Halloran came into contact with SCP-3999, a higher dimensional entity that wanted to make him suffer for millions of years, and in the process would destroy and rebuild the universe.
But when you die in a million years, unless if the thing makes him like live that long.
By far one of the strongest beings in the verse, due to the fact that it was implied that it wiped out everything in the multiverse. Despite requiring a host to materialize its effects, I believe it is somewhat superior.
I'm trying to sound interesting, but it's not really that interesting in this kind of stuff.
Even so, it is still cannon fodder to the number one entity on this list.
Kind of more like watching this because like I kind of care for my subscribers, and if they want me to like watch something, I'll go ahead and do it, even though I might not be interested in it.
SCP-682, SCP-1, the Angel Entity,
Being Jesus.
SCP-317, a possible iteration of the Scarlet King, and even narrative eaters such as SCP-2747 or SCP-3125, the God of Fiftism. It is a Keter-class SCP that cannot be contained due to its teleportation, reality warping, shape-shifting, manipulation of files in the SCP.
Well, that's a lot of stuff you can do.
To be killed or affected. On top of that, it can affect the laws of physics, erase memories, and even concepts.
Ooh.
Basically,
This thing's so dangerous.
Is a higher dimensional entity trapped in the body of a human named Sam Howell.
Sam Howell?
By another being named
Ben? This seems very basic. Ugh, that face.
Unfortunately, he made it way too powerful. Like, he wrote it to be so overpowered and made it to be associated with the constant and seemingly
So he made
of narrative layers.
So he made like big
surpass his creator, but the level above that, and would constantly surpass whatever pinnacle it had reached previously, seemingly having no end, and would theoretically transcend many gods in the verse, and possibly even ideas. In attempts to remedy its fuck-up, the being who created SCP-3812
Yeah,
tried to
that
bring
is
it
kind
down
of messed up.
numerous times, but to no avail, because he made it way too overpowered. Remember how
Why would somebody want to make something that is like that powerful that could probably kill all of us?
Well, SCP-3812, even prior to ascending, was already so transcendental that Hume detectors were outright unable to detect anything from the anomaly, even though other godly beings in the verse have had detectable Hume levels.
So people can't.
Crazy, SCP-2747, the Anafabula, which I will cover in depth at some point, was unable to erase
I might react to that.
narrative,
I'm
even
not
though
sure.
the Anafabula's whole narrative is to consume other realities and narratives below and above it. In fact, the Anafabula is
With like a bunch of eyes on his chest.
which baptism fears, and is associated with or encapsulates the idea.
By the way, I might make a double upload, maybe. Because there's another animation by Bonbon Films. I recognize that guy. The first animation I watched from Bonbon Films was Believal. That was like so long ago. I think that was back in 2017 or 18. I'm not sure. But he came out with another Stay Calm video. I already saw the other one, so I'm not gonna react to that. But I'll react to the new one. I might do it. I might make a double upload. You know what? Never mind. I might just do that as another video at another time. Anyway, let's get back to the video. It's about to be over.
The Scarlet King are subjugated or are represented by.
Wait. The thing kind of reminds me of this Friday Night Funkin' mod thing that has some kind of creature kind of thing that kind of actually looks like that.
The entity can easily destroy the Earth, which did happen at one point.
It did?
But also the universe, the multiverse, and the narratives that lay within.
Wow. So that thing can destroy like every single thing like existent, universe, dimensions, and all that stuff.
Above, below, and between it. Outright being able to compress uncountably infinite stacks of narratives and uncountably infinite spaces between each narrative to the point that they unravel.
What is that thing in the middle though? I don't know what that thing is.
A PK class all in one. Holy shit.
Precast scenario. Everything is effed.
Is really crazy powerful existential pandemonium event, meaning that it would be a far greater threat than simply destroying the multiverse, as it would destroy the narratives above it and whatever is above that as well.
Oh.
Fortunately for us, and unfortunate for the entity, Sam Howell has a lot of mental instability and as such doesn't have complete control over its capabilities. But that doesn't mean that it cannot pose a threat. Overall, I'd be confident in saying that SCP-3812 is likely one of the strongest entities in the entire verse, at least being top 3 when we are accounting for the thousands of entries in the database. It should deadass scale above, or will at least eventually surpass, the true forms of the Scarlet King, SCP-682, SCP-343, Mekani, Yaldabaoth, and other mighty powerful cosmic entities. Now, do I believe it is the absolute strongest entity in the verse?
I do.
It is possible, but I do feel that there are other entities or ideas.
Probably, maybe. It depends. It depends how much people can make up a very more stronger SCPs than that. How would somebody come up with something more dangerous than that? Because that thing seems pretty like very dangerous, and I think can take away, destroy everything.
So, what do you think of the list? There were a...
Yeah, so when I think about the list, there was like a lot, especially that alarm store thing, because that thing's basically indestructible. And also, this last one seems more interesting than last, because this thing's like, it's like super like 1 billion like dangerous.
A lot of candidates that I did have in mind to put in this video, but I didn't want it to be too long, so I did like...
Yeah, the video is already like 27 minutes.
Doesn't mean that I don't think it's powerful, because there were a lot of them, right? But I couldn't possibly cover all of them, right? But
like how many SCP? This must be a ton, because there's like a bunch of numbers. I'm not sure if the numbers mean like how many like they're all like in total, like what number level they are. Like I wonder how many SCPs there are. I might Google search it, see how much SCPs that people like. How can people make up so many stuff like this? Like, I'm sure people want to have ideas, and then soon that way you can't think of any more of any of them.
Were the most interesting and most overpowered. But yeah, thank you so much for
My
watching.
favorite one on the list is the last one because that's the strongest one of all of them.
Please subscribe if you want to see more SCP content.
I might actually subscribe, maybe. Depends what else they have on the channel. Let me just check real quick. Okay, looking. Okay, they do more than just SCPs. Okay. Now I don't think I can watch these because I really know nothing about these and stuff. I can never watch these shows. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna subscribe. Yeah, I might just. I know you guys probably want me to watch this, but I kind of just don't want to. I'm not sure. Well, that was kind of interesting. So that was top 10 Deadlliest SCPs that can destroy everything. Very interesting, a bunch of cool SCPs and stuff. Some of them are interesting, but I'm not really interested in SCP that much. So I'm mainly more of a like a FNAF person and stuff. So I mainly like to like FNAF stuff. So anyway, that'll be it, guys, and I hope you guys have a good day and stuff. So bye.